The new Online Business Case Creator, also called the OBCC, is a tool that will guide you through a three-step process to analyze your project and help you make your best recommendations about whether a project should move forward. In the last tutorial, the third in this series, I demonstrated how the OBCC makes suggestions about what risks and benefits you may be facing based on your answers to Worksheet 1. In this tutorial, the fourth in the series, I will show you how to prioritize and tailor the suggested risks and benefits. Let's begin. As always, log in and choose a plan. Once a plan is selected, look for the brown menu on the left-hand side of the page. This is where you will find the OBCC worksheets. This time, let's have a look at the Step 2 worksheets. In Tutorial 1, we answered the Step 1 assessment questions relating to project evidence base. In Tutorial 3, we previewed lists of suggested risks and benefits you may be facing. Now, to work with the list of suggested risks, we arrive at Worksheet 2A. Like Worksheet 1, this worksheet is organized into bundles. A bundle just means a group of questions that can be opened or collapsed so that you can look at a specific series one at a time. Notice the bundles have descriptive labels. Here you will see the same 6 bundles that appeared on Worksheet 1 and will again appear on Worksheet 2B. There is one additional bundle that we will discuss later. It is at the top and is titled Identify Your Own Risks. Again, you see the indicator box that reminds you you have not yet worked on this bundle of questions. Once you have worked on the bundle, this indicator box will turn green. Following through with our work on the evidence-based bundle started in Tutorial 1, let's open the evidence-based bundle on this worksheet. If you work through Tutorial 3, you will remember that you produced tables in Word with lists of suggested risks and benefits. The same list of suggested risks appears here, only this time you can work with the list in the tool itself, identifying priorities, tailoring the risks, deleting items that are irrelevant, and later adding your own additional ideas about risks. The list appears in this preview pane. It may be a long list. If you want to see everything in the preview pane, there are vertical and horizontal scroll bars. If you prefer to see the entire list at once, review Tutorial 3 to make a printout of the entire table. Preview panes like this appear in many places throughout the OHPP 2.0 application. Once you get the hang of working with these tables, it is easy to manage your data. To work with a particular row in a table, click on the Edit button in the far left-hand Action column. The row will become highlighted. You may then scroll down the page slightly to the area beneath the preview pane. This is where you may view and edit the answers related to the highlighted row in the table. The first question beneath the preview pane shows the broad area for which you may be at risk of a negative impact. This is a suggestion made by the tool. It appears highlighted with gray and surrounded by a red border. This means that you cannot edit the content. Below that is the answer you entered on Worksheet 1 that triggered this possible risk. If you choose, you may edit this so that it more specifically explains your project limitation related to this possible risk. Moving down on the page, you'll see some suggested text explaining the specific risks you will be facing if you have a negative impact because of the limitation noted above. Again, feel free to edit this so that it specifically reflects your situation. The next 2 questions relate to setting priorities for action. They prompt you to decide whether this particular risk is likely and whether it is significant. The likelihood significance assessment is an important part of risk analysis. One way to look at this is by sorting your potential risks into quadrants. Some of you may have used sorting techniques like this before. They're a great way to quickly see where you stand. For example, a risk that is likely and significant goes into this red quadrant in the upper right-hand corner. This risk is a priority for developing risk minimization strategies. Risks in this category you should definitely do something to minimize. Risks that fall into one of the yellow categories, likely or significant, but not both, are less of a priority, but may still warrant minimization strategies. Risks in the gray category, neither likely nor significant, are not relevant and can be safely ignored. A diagram like this can be produced by the OBCC tool by choosing Output 2.2 Priority Risk Action Areas Diagram using the Output menu on the upper right-hand corner of every worksheet. And now back to our worksheet. Once you decide on the likelihood and significance of a risk, you may choose some strategies to minimize the risk from the menu provided. Or you may enter your own ideas for how to minimize the risk in the space provided below. The final two questions prompt you to reassess likelihood and significance, considering what your situation will be after the minimization strategies you have selected are implemented. Note that the minimization strategies you have chosen may change your quadrant. In other words, your strategies may have made the risk less likely or less significant or both. But if a risk is still red, even after your best strategies, watch out. These are threats that may jeopardize your project. Once you have answered these questions, click Save, then continue to work through the other rows. To make this process quicker, some people choose to delete some rows right off the bat if they already know they are irrelevant. This means you will not have a permanent record of the irrelevant ones. You cannot get them back, but it does cut down on the number of rows you need to work with. To do this, just click the Delete button for a given row in the far left-hand action column. Once you've worked through all the rows in the table, use the Output menu to create one or more summaries of your answers in formats that best meet your needs. The process for creating outputs was discussed in tutorials 2 and 3. The worksheet for Step 2B, Analyze Benefits, works exactly the same way. It presents suggested benefits based on your answers to the Step 1 worksheet, and it allows you to whittle them down, tailor, and prioritize. From Worksheet 2B, Analyze Benefits, you can also view different summaries of your analysis using the Output menu in the upper right-hand corner of every page. One example of the outputs you can create is Output 2.4, called Priority Benefit Action Areas Diagram. It looks like this, and there are many other output choices. In the next tutorial, I will discuss how to identify your own risks and benefits instead of or in addition to the ones suggested by the OBCC. Don't forget, you can contact us at any time for free advice related to using the online business case creator.